Digital Network.
Coming up on this week's episode, comedians Mike Vecchione and Dan St. Germain are in the studio. Kim tells us about her really rough day, and as always, our clip of the week. Stick around.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please. Of the closing doors, please.
It's alive!
Transfer is available.
To the...
Your next and last stop is...
You're tuning into the SubwayCreatures. You're tuning into the
Wow. New open.
That
I like
intro's fire. Who made that?
I like that. Is that Bobby?
That was Frank, our new
Frank. Good job.
Oh, shit. What up, Frank?
Good job with that. That was well done.
Nice.
New episode. We're recording this straight after Labor Day weekend, so I think everyone's got a little bit of a Labor Day hangover. Maybe I just speak for myself, but want to welcome to the studio Dan St. Germain.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming, sir.
Yeah.
And also Mike Vecchione. I know you are obviously are usually here anyway. You got your own show going on.
I have my own show called the No Disrespect Podcast on the Gas Digital Network.
And thank you, sir, for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
I know you have to get out of here a little early, so obviously go whenever you need to go.
I'll go hard during the time frame that you give me. I go sideline to sideline. I'm going to play my ass off. I'm not going to take any breaks.
There you go. Well, we were
Play
just
through lunch.
We were just kind of talking about your project that you just wrapped on.
Which project?
It
my
was.
God. Wow.
I love this. I love this.
Which project? I have so many things in the fire.
The Judd Apatow movie or the feeding pigeons on my roof?
I have so many irons in the fire. Can you guys hear this? Because I'm tapping my pen. So many irons in the fire right now. I don't know what you're referring to. Could you be more specific, Rick?
I overheard something about a Judd Apatow Pete Davidson project.
Yeah, so I played a pretend firefighter in that movie. It's a movie based loosely on Pete's life, and fortunately, by a miracle of God, I got into it. And no, it's a lot of responsibility to fight Hollywood fires. So it's a lot of pressure. But
that's amazing.
There's
man.
makeup people there. There's costume people there. Thank God. So I don't know how actual firefighters do it.
Were you shooting around here, or was
we shot in Staten Island and then Brooklyn, and then we shot a fire scene in Yonkers, which was very taxing. It was very hot that day. You know, we had to wear full gear. I'm like, I don't know how these guys actually do it. This fake fire took all day to fight, and we emerged victorious, like the champions that we were.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Now you understand how Pete's dad felt.
Oh,
Kim.
What?
Kim, you went low and hard. That was a chop block. Do you guys have a flag for the podcast where you throw a flag on the play?
To Kim's defense, he would make that joke himself.
Yeah.
I guess he could, though.
I guess, yeah. It's a little different, right?
It must
Holy
be funny
shit.
though to watch, like, because when you take like a lunch break and you guys all dress as fake fighters are like eating, and then there's like the real crew that looks exactly how they're supposed to look.
Right. Yeah.
Like it's the guys with the mustaches and shit right next to you guys.
So we actually had a picture. Can we pull that up? That
fake
picture is
heroes.
amazing. Look at the cast on this.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this is incredible.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a good one.
You got Bill Burr in there.
Yeah.
You got
Buscemi.
Steve Buscemi.
I was going to say, I didn't remember his name. I was going to say the dude from Billy Madison.
Wait, which one?
Steve Buscemi.
Oh,
With the
yeah.
lipstick
Oh,
on
it's the
his
dude
face.
from The Wire.
And the dude from the White, is that Dom?
Dominic Lombardisi.
Yeah,
he's a
that's
great dude. It's unbelievable group of
I
guys.
see Bill Burr over in the
Bill
corner.
Burr
Yeah,
is,
that's
plays the love interest of Marissa Tomei, who plays
that's so
Pete's
funny.
mom. And it was. What an experience! Unbelievable.
Did Pete
Through
write
the
this?
roof. Pete and Judd. Yeah.
Okay.
Is Bill Burr okay?
Yeah. Well, he lost a lot of weight for that.
He looks
took
like,
his shirt off,
okay,
and
I was going to say, he looks like he's got the same sickness Pete does.
No, he dropped a lot of weight. He dropped a lot of weight for the role.
Okay, that's what it was. Thank God it's for the role. I was like, are we going to still get his comedy or?
Yeah. It almost
be around for a while.
It almost
right?
reminds me a little bit of what's the one Dennis Leary was doing. The
Rescue Me.
Rescue Me.
Yeah.
That fucking show was amazing. I fucking love that show. Did it have that kind of vibe when you were?
I don't know the Rescue Me. I never.
You never saw that one?
Never saw it, but I've heard good things about it. But it was a great vibe. The firefighters were super cool. Three of the people in that picture are actual real firefighters.
Oh, wow.
And actors. So.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, they're firefighter actors. I'm more of an actor firefighter. Who's also a comic, which is really what you need in a fire.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
You need jokes. I think jokes are necessary more than anything.
I can't.
And I'm
wait
dressed
for
like a Navy SEAL for some reason for this podcast.
I just noticed that.
Right? Saint
Very
Germain?
intimidating. Very intimidating.
I'll dress like a hero.
Have you always been doing comedy, or do you have a background?
I've been doing comedy for a
something?
long time, but I used to be a teacher. I have a master's in special education.
Okay.
I taught kids with emotional and learning problems. And now I tell dick jokes.
Yeah.
So thank you for having me on. What train are we on right now? Is this the D? How do you guys do it? Is the segments according to different...
Yeah, no, we just kind of roll with the punches on this. It just kind of goes right into the next. But
Can I tell you my story? It's a subway-based podcast. right?
please.
There's always somebody inappropriate on the subway, doing something inappropriate, whether it's playing their cell phone with no ear. I can't believe that.
I have said that probably 100 times on the show. That is my all-time number one pet peeve on the subway. The people who do not wear earphones.
It's not that it's even a pet peeve with me. I'm just in shock. I'm like, do you not know that this is bothering other people, or are you just are you just like, I don't give a fuck?
I think
It's both.
I think
Can I
so.
tell you that some people don't give a fuck? People like my mother have no clue that there is a loud noise coming out that other people have to listen to. She kept doing it on the train when she was visiting New York, and I went, stop doing that. Stop playing it like your Snapchat videos, and stop having a Snapchat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Kim, you cut deep. You cut pretty deep. This is the third time where it's like, Kim, like, she did, like, when you
yeah,
watch
my
a
mom's
fighter,
a whore.
you watch a fighter, like, Kim digs to the body, and then she digs really hard to the body.
When I was in Washington Heights, it was like 8 a.m. You would get on the train to work, and there was like literally like a couple dancing with reggaeton. They would put like the stereo down and have like a romantic dance with each other.
Yeah, and
Not for money.
right, exactly.
I'm
Never,
like, what the fuck is happening?
very rarely is. And
How long did this date go?
I always wonder, like, is that the person who's trying to get people to say something? Because then there are also the people, if someone does have the balls to say something, they immediately get offended. You know, they're pissed off.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah.
why are you pissed off?
Yeah.
I don't get it. So
Yeah.
I don't know if they're trying to egg people on or not. But
I was on a flight. I was on a flight, and this guy was playing his phone at full volume, and I was just in shock for a couple of minutes to be like, is this really happening? Is this guy really doing it, playing his phone at full volume with no headphones and just watching it on a flight that's quiet?
Right.
The flight attendant comes up to him and goes, hey, you can't do that. And this guy was puzzled. He's like, huh? Is that a problem? She's like,
That's what I don't
You can't
get.
do it. He's like,
Yeah.
And she had to like really explain it to him. It's like, yeah, it's disturbing the other passenger. He's like, no, really? It's disturbing the other passenger. He's like, he didn't know.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if there's a lot of people like that who just
There is.
don't know, or they're just willfully ignorant. They're like, no, fuck you.
Well, it's like when you get on a plane and you're like in back of somebody who smells like shit, and you're like, you can afford a $500 fucking ticket, but you couldn't afford Old Spice. Like,
yeah.
like people were just fucking clueless.
Yeah.
I think that it has something to do with not living in a city, because I know when I first moved here, when I first started dating Lewis, he would yell at me all the time for playing my phone out loud.
So what would you do? You'd play like videos?
I would just like let my like Instagram stories just like go
and just
there'd be-
play like volume maxed out.
Yeah. And
Wow.
he would be
That
like, what are
is-
you doing? And then it took me a while to be like, oh, fuck, this is annoying. Because then
Yeah.
you'd hear other people. But you don't notice it when you're not in a city. Because if you're in a small town, there's so much room and space
Right.
for people that like you could just walk somewhere else. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Absolutely.
So I guess I think a little bit it might be that.
So would
Well,
you say
the other thing, before we get back to the subway thing, the other thing on a flight, since you mentioned that, really
Yeah.
annoys me. I mean, it really bugs me now to the point where it's like, I get furious. It's like, you know how you're filing out, one row files out after the other row? You just
Yeah.
wait for the row in front
I
of you
know
to
you're
file
about to
out.
say.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's people who come from the back and like, they just run up. And it's like,
where
what
are
do you,
going?
there's an order to things here. You're not
No.
recognizing the order, and they go, and they're just like, and they're not getting anywhere. Like
That's
they
my point.
they
Yeah,
walk
exactly.
2 aisles up and they're stopped. So it's like you beat
Right.
2 rows. Like
Right,
I don't know
that's
what you're
true.
doing.
Yeah,
Kim,
Kim's-
are you that person?
Kim's had a couple
Well,
stories.
it depends. Well, it depends. It depends on my mood. But yeah, no, I don't just go up 2 rows. I
If
take
there's
my
like a flight
seatbelt off
time
before,
issue.
like as we're landing.
Right.
Right.
And then I have my shit in my hand. And then when it goes ding, I sprint to the front. But I'm always like, but no one's waiting for me. Like I'm not like I'm going to the front and then I'll go,
Yeah.
I have a layover. And
See,
I'll just go.
there is that other part though where if you get on and your luggage, like there's nowhere to put your luggage, so you have to put your luggage behind you.
Right.
And now you can't.
That caused a
you
fight with
can't
me.
Fucking get it because
Yeah. You're
everyone
stuck.
else gets up.
Right.
And you
Yeah.
can't get your luggage.
That's how that fight started on the airport with me. Because that
Yeah.
bitch, you know, that bitch. Some girl.
I thought it was Alex who did it.
No,
No.
she was pointing it out.
My luggage was stuck behind,
Right.
and I was trying to get to it, and I was like, hey, can you just... I told the people, I was like, let me just grab that real quick. It was 2 rows back.
Yeah.
And some bitch behind me was like, well, maybe you should have gotten a different seat. And I was like, that makes no sense at all. Like, at all. It just makes no sense.
And you should have said, you know what will make sense? My right hand.
Well, I didn't say
Top
that.
to your face.
She didn't go full Puerto Rican on
I
her.
said
Oh, wow.
something like, whatever, bitch.
What did she say after that?
And then she said, your mom's a bitch.
Ooh.
And then I laughed because, like, who says that? And I
Yeah.
grabbed my shit and I got off the plane. And then it didn't end there. Like, she passed me, said something else. Lewis was with me. Lewis got in her face. She spit in Lewis's face.
Oh, my
Lewis
God.
spit back in her face. And then people were holding us back. And then
This
she
was
took
like
her phone.
like before you left the gate.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like, you
What's
know,
this story
you know
called?
that in
Welcome to Albuquerque.
you know, in between the airport and the actual plane, like that weird ramp you walk down.
Yeah.
It was in there. And then
tarmac.
Yeah, and then the flight attendants were splitting us up, and then she had her phone and she was recording us, and she kept saying, "I'm calling TMZ," which I was confused about because we were both in coach, and I was like, "On who? Like who? Us? You?" And then she was like, "I'm calling TMZ. I'm calling TMZ." So I just snatched her phone and I fucking chucked it at a wall, and then
Holy
we kept
shit.
walking.
You guys acted like you were on a Greyhound bus.
Yeah, it was.
That's Greyhound bus
It
behavior.
was the trashiest thing I've ever done on a plane. Alex,
747
Alex, what
behavior.
do you have?
I mean, my favorite part of the story is you guys leaving the airport and switching hats with each other and putting sweatshirts on and
Oh,
like
yeah.
Oh,
separating.
so you could not be arrested or
Yeah.
something?
Yeah.
That's my
The
it's
old
the best.
disguise after an unpleasant confrontation.
So she knew who you and Lewis were?
I don't know, and I don't know. I
Because you've
still
told this story before, but I don't remember that part.
I still don't know. She
Yeah.
just kept saying, "I'm calling TMZ."
I'm sure you'll see him at Skankfest next year. They're Gas Digital fans. Well, our fans, you know, they show love in a weird way.
But yeah, that's caused a fight.
No, absolutely. And as long as we're on topic, this actually happened over the weekend with planes. The have you ever been on a plane where anyone's brought like one of those emotional support animals?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
was it
my fiance
was
does
it? Oh, she does that.
Yeah.
Is it now? Is it just a dog, or
It
is
gives us emotional support.
because people
It's
bring
a white
I mean,
people
it's not
emotional
like
support
sniffing
animal.
out like
the
it's
white
not sniffing
snake.
out like shipments and seeing if there's a cartel there or like I don't have PTSD from Iraq, so it jumps in my lap. But
Why do white people love their pets so much?
Well,
I don't know because they're fun.
Are they?
Listen, I have multiple dogs, so
Multiple dogs.
Do you have pets?
No. I'm on the road too much, I think.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
honestly,
to
that's
be
the hard
responsible.
Part.
I got
That's the hardest part.
lady at
Yeah.
home who takes care of it.
I'm a damn.
I'm a dam.
But you know, it's not just dogs; it's like other animals as well. That
Yeah.
and it's getting wild. It's getting wild. So over
Yeah.
the weekend, someone brought a mini horse.
I love that. My emotional support pony.
Yeah.
They wouldn't even let it on the flight. These fucking assholes.
Well, they allowed this one on the flight.
Oh my
American
God.
Airlines
Holy
allowed
shit.
it on the flight. Guys, you have the video. This is on an American. This is mid-flight on
Was
an
it
American.
shitting or no? It had to be
That's
shitting.
what I was gonna ask. Like,
Don't horses, aren't they notorious shitters?
Or maybe this one's potty trained.
dude, look at the horse's head. It's just. First of all, it looks
I
sedated.
don't see a horse. Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
That's fucking.
That
It looks
was
like you
blending
killed
in
a
with the
goat,
seat.
and
It looks.
That's really.
It looks sedated as hell, which I'm sure it has
that,
to be.
That
but
pony looks jet lagged. I'll be honest. I'm going to weigh in here.
It looks fake, doesn't it? Like
Yeah.
one of those things that there's just a stick coming out of the head.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I tell you what, though, you bring on an emotional support pony, nobody's cutting in front of you on that line. Once
No
that
one's
fucking,
complaining.
Anyone who's
No.
like, all right, you were able to prove to a panel that you're psychotic enough to bring a horse on a fucking plane, you get to go.
Well,
for
that's why because there was a woman in New York. She's been on the page before. She has a pet peacock.
Yeah.
And she's brought that on the train
That
before.
would piss me off.
Yeah, because they're not really emotional support. They're too show businessy. You know what I mean? The peacock. Look at me. It's all about them. It's like, what about the emotional support you're supposed to be providing?
Bob, you have that video of the peacock?
It's dogs, right? Are cats emotional support animals?
I wonder. Where do you draw the line?
I was doing a bit. I was trying to make. I'm still trying to make this bit work, but it's like you never on YouTube see a cat welcome a soldier home.
That's true.
You always see a dog. Great. There's never a. They're like, oh well, if we won the war in Afghanistan, why are you brokering a deal with the Taliban? And then they disappear behind a fucking radiator for 2 weeks.
Cats fucking stink.
They're ungrateful.
Yeah,
they're ungrateful.
They don't care about the troops.
Ooh, you know what I hate?
No, they don't care about the troops. Fucking dogs love the troops.
Yeah.
I hate a man who has a dog that doesn't listen to him.
Yeah.
You ever see a man that's like, sit, and his dog's just running around? You're like, ugh, you have a small dick. I can tell by the way your dog listens to you.
That's a great point.
Wow.
I never thought about that.
Like, I'm not listening to you.
You're like, who's emotional support for who?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's a guy who's also owned by his dog.
Yeah.
Like the dogs.
I know, and then I'm like, I'm going to own you too.
What about a guy who smacks his dog around a little bit? Does that turn you on? More?
I don't know.
Yeah?
I don't know. I don't know.
Kim is blushing for those of you guys listening to this right now.
Fun trick at the airport. You guys are going to think I'm trash for this.
Oh.
You want to know how I get on an airplane?
How?
I don't
Spit
wait.
on the flight attendant.
No. I don't
She's like,
wait.
I've been to 2 flights now.
I can't get on them anymore.
Yeah.
No, I you know how there's disability boarding?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, relax.
You don't peanut butter falcon this shit. Right?
I don't know what that means, but it's funny.
It's a new movie about a kid with Down syndrome wanting to become a wrestler. Anyway, keep going.
Well, close. They can't ask you if you have a disability, first of all. So what I do is I do this the classy way. They say, "Is anyone disabled? You can board now," and it's before first class. They do military, disabled, which I think that's the wrong order in the first place. They do military, then disabled, then first class. And what I do,
children. When do they go?
yeah, they go after military before disabled, something like that. No, with first class, I think. I don't know. Anyways, so they call up the disabled people. I wait till the last disabled person. I get behind them and just cut first class.
Oh, so you don't sling blade it?
So you're like Robin Hood.
I still say I'm disabled.
Steal from the rich.
But I don't cut anybody with a
Give to
disability.
yourself.
It's my own moral. It's my own moral thing. I go, I'll cut first class because I don't like the way they look at me.
Because they don't question whether you're disabled or not?
No, they can't.
They make you prove it?
No, I dare them to. My last name will be American Airline.
What would be your reaction if they called you out?
I would fucking call a fake lawyer.
You wouldn't.
Right then.
No, but what if it was a simple question like, what's your disability?
I would say torticollis.
Is that
It's a
thing?
muscle disability.
Oh,
yeah.
so that is a thing.
I used to have it. Yeah.
I think the funny
It's not
thing.
even a disability. It's just a muscle problem.
Yeah, I didn't know if she was kidding.
I
didn't
think
know
you
that was
say,
a real thing.
can I suggest something? If you do get called out, because this would be great. You say torticollis, and then you do a somersault for no reason. It's like it's involuntary. Involuntary gymnastics
Here's my
syndrome.
peacock.
It's really.
So yeah, that's what I do, and I don't think it's wrong.
You don't think it's wrong?
No, to cut first class, no.
I think it's wrong to take your bags and rush to the front of the fucking plane. I think that's
wrong?
crazy.
What's wrong about what I'm doing?
It is a system in
Well,
place.
they paid more
Everybody,
money
the
for the
system
flights.
doesn't work.
Right.
The system
paid
doesn't
more money
work if
for the
somebody.
flights.
You know what? You know how they made that money to pay more for the flights?
Yeah.
They either got it from their parents or they did some fucking shisty shit to become rich, like I'm doing right now.
I mean,
No, but what about
You're 60% right, probably.
No, but what about 60%? But there's 40% then 50% of people who worked their ass off to get rich.
And they'll still sit in that chair and get their fucking Bloody Marys just
I can
fine.
clearly see who you two voted for.
I also move very quickly. It's not like I'm in there fucking taking when I'm on a plane, I'm down the thing, my shit. I know how to fly quick.
You're like an emotional support spider.
I'm not who you don't want to stand behind on a plane. I
Yeah.
get my shit out quick. I don't use the bathroom often. I'm easy.
Yeah.
I'm with Mike on this one, but I also appreciate you're very passionate. I can tell when you're passionate about things, and you're very passionate about this right now.
Well, I just don't.
You have this look in your eye right now that you're getting pissed talking about this.
No, I'm not getting pissed. I'll just I don't feel bad stealing from big corporations. That has nothing to do with this.
You're just indicting yourself for
I'm
future lawsuits.
But also, like, you know, like, fuck Forever 21.
Yeah,
Give me
I
that
did.
shit.
Hey, I'm with you on that one, but you know, the guy who paid extra, you know.
Fuck him too.
Well, can I say something else about the Subway thing and see if you guys agree with me? Instead of getting the person who does the wrong thing, which somebody in one car most often is doing something annoying, you make the cars, since this is a Subway podcast, specific to one behavior. So it's like everybody's playing their phones with
I've
no...
pitched this.
We've talked about it.
Is that a
I've
thing?
pitched
To be honest with you,
A music train,
so
a
funny.
sleeping
talk
train.
about your idea.
Masturbation train.
Yes.
So
Everyone's
the
jacking
on.
off.
Yeah.
It's like a slip and slide.
Right. Oh, wow. I didn't go that far.
Well, I think Kim would go on the masturbating car.
Well, just to have anyone masturbate at me, I've
But
wait for
there would be
years.
one side for men, one side for women, or do you keep it gendered?
No.
No, you mix it up?
Yeah,
you
right.
can't.
So we're gonna have one woman masturbating by herself, taking up a whole fucking train.
Also,
that
it's
doesn't
like,
sound
yeah,
fair.
there's just going to be
Why are we
one
yelling?
woman in that train. There's just, we think like it's going to be a hot sex thing. It's going to be the same looking
It's-
guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like by 30.
It's gonna have a big clit.
Right?
Yeah, they're all going to jerk off each other. And it's just going to be like
What
a
about the
fun
people who
gay
just
train.
want to, they're not masturbating, but they want to watch? Are they allowed on that
Well,
car?
that's where Kim comes in because
Yeah.
Kim is
would-
that
Yeah.
person. She's a big fan of guys jerking off at her.
Yeah.
In fact, she just
Did I ever tell
At
you
her?
that?
you have. In fact, you.
Wow. I was like, do you just know me so well, or like?
Like, no, when I was
doing
jerking
this-
off
Am I
in
giving
front
off
of you,
that
you really
vibe?
liked it.
yeah, you know. Well, you're in comedy. You know. No, but you did. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago that we talked about this?
I think 2 weeks ago.
Where she texted me on the side and she was like, "Hey, I had a guy finally go to completion."
On a train
And
in
I'm
front of me.
On a train?
In
yeah.
front of me, yeah.
And she was very excited about it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Were you on a
like-
date with him or just no?
No, he wasn't on a date with fucking whatever's in his head
Oh,
in the
okay.
corner.
You,
Yeah, me,
Yeah.
I guess.
definitely you.
But you stayed there and held firm?
Well, I wasn't sure what was happening because he was doing it outside of his pants.
Oh,
He had
okay.
loose pants, and so
Right.
he was like rubbing his shit, and he was doing it so in tune, like he was like doing it so like with such a rhythm that I thought he had a problem, and that's just the way he moved.
Right.
So I was like, maybe he just
he's
has
like a varsity public masturbator.
right.
Yeah,
He did
that's
it
a
so much where I
professional.
didn't know.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But you were kind of suspicious of it.
So then he was like doing it so fast, and then I looked away for a second because I was like, nah, he's not masturbating. He's just like twitching and being weird. And then when I looked back, he was like all done with a smile on his face. And I was like, he was masturbating at
Wow.
me.
Masturbating at you.
Yeah.
But I do think there's something to your idea
Yeah.
about a car designated for each.
It should be the last few cars on the train.
Yes.
Right.
It should be at the very end.
Yes.
You should be able to sleep there, masturbate, throw up, shit, do whatever you want. Leave the rest of them alone.
Yeah.
Speaking
There are
of
going to be so many murders on that train.
yeah,
I
Fuck
guess
it.
it make New York more interesting.
On the
Like, if you
last
take the
one
last
or on
back
ours?
2 cars, you're like, I'm going to 1970s New York. You know?
Yeah.
Like, make it like a
Just
Pilgrim
crabs and
Village.
graffiti.
Yeah.
speaking of throwing up on the train,
Uh-oh.
do you?
I had a bad morning.
You had a bad day.
I had it.
Kimmy had a bad day.
I did.
Today?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, I started my morning. I live in an apartment. It's 2 stories, and the shower's upstairs and my bedroom's downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
And I was getting out of the shower, and it has one of those curved staircases. And I was walking down. I slipped and fell all the way down the stairs.
Wow.
By myself this morning, home alone. Almost died. Fucked my shit up. Fucked my shit up. Cried at the bottom. And you know,
When
like,
you cry, no one's there, too.
oh my God, to cry by yourself and then have to stop crying and then like get up and then keep living life is so awkward in front of yourself. It's so weird to like fall and then be like, oh, and then when you're done, just have to like get
I said
up,
that a spiral-
titties everywhere.
A spiral staircase is so elegant until you do what you did on it, which is fall too early in the morning when no one's around.
Right.
Yes.
So that's
You're
how my morning
envisioning like a gown and a grand appearance.
and also, your apartment sounds pretty fucking nice.
That's pretty dope.
I was watching that movie Skyscraper this weekend. I
Is that the one with The
watched a little bit
Rock?
of it. Yeah, it's The Rock where he has like a fake leg. It's like Die Hard with a fake leg and a family.
Right.
And they always have that spot where like the fucking assassin is on top of the stairs and shoots down, and they never make that hit. Like,
No.
They never make that hit. You have to make him make that hit once, right?
You're talking about right down the middle, right?
Yeah, when they like
Where the
yeah,
winding-
but you can see
yeah.
the winding, and then he misses each fucking time.
Yeah. I mean, that's the Hollywood storyline always.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Die Hard itself. Every time main character's running,
that
bullets
movie is
are always
Like,
1 foot behind.
1 foot behind.
Yeah, it's that drives me nuts.
Yeah.
We were talking about, was it last week? How much we hate happy endings. We love when like the main characters die or get blown up or killed.
I hate
like,
a happy ending.
Yeah, we fucking hate them.
What's the best movie you've seen this year?
This year?
Yeah, I couldn't even tell you this year. I don't know.
It's been a rough year for
I haven't
movies.
seen any movies either.
Screwball. It's a documentary about the A-Rod
Wait,
steroid scandal. It's fucking
see, I'm a
amazing.
big documentary guy.
Yeah.
So this is something I need to remember. Screwball.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm taking the podcast off topic to the least interesting.
No, this is
subject
this
for
is fine.
documentary. So what do you guys think about Ken Burns?
Speaking of Screwball,
Well, the one thing I don't like about documentaries is that they're made so often now. A lot of them are bad, and a lot of people say that they're good, but they're not good. They're
Which
not.
one do
They're
you think?
they're bad. I don't know. A lot of the 30 for 30s, which I love sports documentaries,
Yeah, I love
people are like,
sports
they're amazing. It's like some of them are okay. A lot of them are really bad because, well, not with the 30 for 30s, because they make them too long, first
think
of
they're
all.
forcing 'em?
They keep repeating the information over and over again. And they're
Right.
trying to make things over dramatic that are not dramatic at all. Just give us the information. Let's like keep it moving. And they don't do that.
Yeah.
And the other thing that really bothers me, especially when it's like a social justice issue, is the documentarian, they do this a lot, making themselves a hero. In the just tell the story, dude. You have to be like, you're in your car going, so I went to the white supremacists and I tried to knock and they wouldn't let me in, and then they asked me to leave, and it's like, how do I get to them? You know,
That's what's so great about
Yeah.
No End in
and
Sight.
then it's almost
that
like,
was that-
I'm such a hero, and it's just like I'm just now perplexed. It's like
Yeah.
I asked them to meet me for this interview, and then they asked me to get off their property.
did you see Abducted in Plain Sight?
Oh yeah, Jesus Christ.
Whoa. So fucking good.
Somebody I know decided to get high and watch that movie because they thought it was about aliens.
That's
And I'm like,
really
this is
funny.
way worse than aliens.
It is way worse. It is
That's
way worse.
really funny.
I mean, there is kind of like a true crime kick right now where these
Yeah.
things are fucking, they're going left and right. They're making
Yeah.
these things. But I kind of find myself drawn to them each time there's a new one. But it's usually like the same plot line each time.
Right.
But it's that you're watching these things and all of a sudden there's these plot twists where you're like, oh my God. And then there's another plot twist and then another. And you're like, this can't be real.
Too many plot twists.
Yeah, this can't be real. I mean,
Yeah.
Abducted in Plain Sight. When I was watching, I was still living with Lewis, and he came by and he heard like something about child molestation, and I was like, "This is really good. You should watch it with me." He was like, "I don't want to watch that shit. That's fucking gross." And he was like disgusted, and he was kind of like just doing errands, and like as the documentary kept going, you could tell he was like listening while like doing shit. And then he just ended up standing at the corner of the living room, and both of us were like, our jaws like every 5 minutes would just drop a little more. And we were both like, by the end
Most
of it, like,
charismatic
holy
pedophile
shit.
of all time.
I wanted to fuck him. By the end of it, I was like, this dude's got strong dick.
the fucking
It's
father. I mean,
crazy.
He is laying down the pipe. He's fucking the dad, the mom, the sister.
I'm
They're all
saying,
fighting over him. It was so hot. Oh.
yeah, that was the one,
It
right?
was
Where
crazy.
he pulls over and he tells the guy, he's like,
Oh.
I'm going to need you to jerk me off.
No, he
Yes.
said, I need some relief. So I gave him relief. I don't know. It's the only impression I can do.
That-
but
that
it's
was the
like,
part-
His face is just like, and I've been sending that meme back and forth like all the time.
This one, when he's like this.
He's always using the phrase, I masturbated him. He
Yeah.
says that like 10
Oh my god!
times.
If you could
That's so
pull that
weird.
up of him just saying that, his the dad is just like dad's clearly like
Gay.
Well,
Clearly
yeah,
gay.
Gay
there's
as
a
fuck.
lot
I mean,
going on
you don't
there.
relief a man who stole your daughter if you're not gay. At minimum.
I mean, it really
I think
is the
relieving a
ocean.
man is a great term.
It's like the Ocean's 11 of.
I relieved a man. I don't know what you're really mad about.
I just relieved him.
Kim, when was the last man you relieved?
Oh man, I relieved a man.
Well, you were the inspiration for the man who relieved himself on the
Yeah,
train.
that
There
is
you
that is
go.
a great
You
point.
relieved him,
That's
man.
He relieved
That's a
You
great
gave
point.
some relief, to quote him.
Yeah, because that was the same time that the Fire Festival one happened, where the guy's like, "So we needed the water,
So we sucked it.
so I sucked his dick, and we got the water back."
Yeah,
That
he
was
didn't get
iconic.
to
How do you
suck
get
his
people
dick,
to say that?
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Both of these guys, and all of a sudden, are like now side by side on pictures, and it's like,
Well, now they're gonna have true crime. I think they're gonna do it because they're doing it with the Bravo this month, where they're gonna have like a true crime convention
No fucking way.
I bet you they do that. Like I'll patent
okay.
it, but it'd be like, hey, here's the guy who probably got away with killing his wife, and then like OJ's there, like everybody's there, and then you just have weirdos like me, like I guess like taking like autographs with like who the fuck
with killers now.
You know, there's a really good
or people who just got off.
Right.
There's a really good Florida hurricane meme that should be made right now with that water bottle guy. The dick sucking one and them running out of water bottles.
Actually, I was meaning to ask you about that. You are from Hollywood, Florida, correct? How is everything with your family down there?
Dude, my family will never die.
The cockroaches.
Yeah. People
Hurricane
from Florida
proof.
are like fucking, yeah. They're fine.
Now, how's your family situation in terms of like a category 1 to 5?
Like as people, as humans, they're a 5. If there could be anything stronger than a 5, it would be that. Have you ever seen the show? This is spot on how my family is. Have you ever seen the show Shameless?
Yeah.
That's
spot on.
To a fucking T.
You got a Frank Gallagher.
My dad, yes. We make him. We used to make him frequently just sleep in the yard when he got too drunk, walk him out, wake him up, drag him in the morning. I mean, to a T.
Have you ever told anyone in your family about that comparison?
Yes, we call my dad Frank to his face.
Oh man,
you don't want that nickname.
So your dad was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Is that the point
yeah. My dad. Everybody's really fun and fucked up. Like my mom. If you knew, I can't even say on the podcast the fraudulent scheme she's got going on right now. It is fucking. It is whatever you're thinking.
Just put your mom in fucking prison.
Whatever you're thinking, it's 10 times worse. It's involving humans and their lives. Bro, it is crazy. And I'm like, you're going to go to prison for life if you get caught. And she's like, no, he's fun because I figure out the license. And it's always like this scheme. It's always a money scheme.
Careful what you're saying here. I don't want.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say anything incriminating. You think I'm a fucking idiot?
Yeah.
I grew up with the Gallaghers.
That is true. Your mom was just in town, no?
Yeah.
For the Jeffrey Epstein trial.
Can I tell you what happened on the train?
Scheming.
Yeah, but we don't talk about that she was in town. Can I tell you me throwing up on the train first?
Oh, yeah.
We got
Let's go.
sidetracked.
Yes.
Okay.
Sidetracked. No, for the
Thank
subway.
you.
All right, because it would.
Bobby, write that one
My
down.
favorite moment is like when
We
you do
don't
the
have a
joke
drop,
and
but can you drop
the
it?
moment when you do a joke and there's a pause and it's just Vecchione like going like it's like a Shakespearean
Sidetracked?
actor.
No, that was we nailed it. I think
All
we
right.
nailed
It's a
it.
subway pod, right?
So I fell down the stairs. I got distracted because I was so hurt I didn't have time to make breakfast. And I was taking these vitamins that I'm trying to take now. So I was like, fuck it, I'll eat as soon in 30 minutes. So I took the vitamins before I ate. Big mistake.
Yeah, you're not supposed to do
I
that
didn't
on
know.
an empty stomach.
No, I guess not. So I'm sitting on the train, and it happened before I got on the train. I got on the train. I'm like about to get on, and I'm starting to like feel dizzy and weird. And I'm like sitting down, and then that, you know, when you like first realize that you're gonna vomit, and then
Yes.
you're like in denial.
Your mouth gets
Yeah.
watery.
No. First you start, you're in denial. Like, I'm not going to vomit. It's in my head. I'm just I'm just dizzy.
Right.
And then you start looking up and things start kind of hurting your eyes and you look down again. And I started doing that. And then my jaw started watering.
Yeah,
and then I got that lump in my throat that I kept swallowing the lump where you start going like, you know, like doing that thing. And then at this point, the train is moving so fucking slow. I need to get down to Bowling Green. I'm on the I'm on the 5. I need to get to Bowling Green. We're at 33rd or
At
something
least it's
like
an
that.
Express, I guess. Right?
Yeah, and then it's going so slow, and as it's rising up to like start coming out, this guy is standing in front of this crazy homeless guy who's next to me, and the homeless guy is, move, hey, can you move? You're in my way. And the guy's like, no, I'm not moving because you told me to. And he starts shoving him. So they start shoving each other in front of me. People move away to the side. I'm so sick I can't even get up. I just put my head in my lap and I hope that I don't get stabbed. I like just put my head down and I'm like, the next stop I'm just gonna get off. But I can tell in that moment that it's one of those things, you know, when you're laying in bed and you need to throw up and you know the second that you sit up to go throw up, it's gonna come out before you get to the bathroom. I'm getting that feeling like the second the train stops, it's just gonna
That's it.
like the second I get up, I need to have a clear area to go vomit. Like I can't have people in my way because I need to
Would you say that
run
your
out.
sickness is running express at this point? I'm trying. You guys said it was a Subway podcast. I'm doing the best I can.
So So
Now, God damn it,
What if
come
we look
on.
and you have like a whole?
I'm sorry to interrupt you,
have
Kim,
an
but you know
entire-
what? It needed to be said.
You have an
No, it
entire
was worth
notebook
it.
of like Subway puns. You've just been going through the whole. You're like, Ma, that's not gonna fucking sync up with this joke.
all right, let's keep this thing
All right,
chugging
let's
along.
go. Let's keep it going.
Sorry, let's hear about the vomits.
You guys, I have something really important to tell. So then it's about to happen, and I'm like, I'm getting off at the next stop. It's fine. Then the train stops, and the announcement comes on, and she's like, we're being held momentarily. And at this point, these two are still arguing. I'm fucking so sick that I'm like, my face is starting to sweat now. I'm like really holding it in. And then we get to 14th. And we stop at 14th, and I make the mistake of standing up before the doors open. Instead of just like breathing for a few more seconds,
Right.
Yeah.
I stand up, and then the doors don't move. And at this point, I'm like hand over mouth, and I'm going,
Oh my god.
and people are like parting like it's a sea.
I know it's about to
Can I
happen.
say something before you go further? Like what you're talking about in meditation, it's really something that you're breaking it down this way because in meditation, you stop seeing the whole picture and it starts getting you to focus moment to moment, which is what you're describing. Like,
What do you mean?
You've forgotten the whole like where I'm going, blah blah blah, and now because of the peril that you're in, it's like you've forgotten the bigger picture of where I'm going. You're telling a story moment to moment to moment. It's like let me get
Yes.
past this next moment. This happened. It's like okay, what's the next moment?
Yes.
Like
Hey,
you're going
100%. I mean,
That's like a
meditate.
meditative.
The only time
Really,
you
that's how you're
meditate is when
actually
you're in
supposed to live
pain.
all the time. What?
Yeah, the only time people truly meditate is when they're in pain.
Yeah, because they like
For the
really
most part,
to
you know,
make
like unless
themselves
you
better.
work at it.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, life, it just slows down.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
it literally is just frame by frame, like you're saying.
Right.
And I've been in that situation before.
it's never
only I was
taken
on a
so
bus.
long to get from one spot
Right.
to another on the train.
But
'cause
it's
I was
pretty.
Like, so,
It's pretty. If I can compliment you here, it's pretty good that you're. Some people are overwhelmed by the moment, and those people panic or whatever. But it's not that you're not sick and in trouble, but you're taking it moment to moment to moment, which is the most effective way to get through
Right.
something that's tough like or painful.
Thank you.
I actually was wondering if the two guys arguing would almost like distract your brain.
It did, and the second that they started shoving each other in my head, I said, "Thank God, something else to think about."
Right.
I was
Yes.
like, "Thank God, I'm just gonna close my eyes and listen to this argument," because like I kept thinking about the feeling in my throat, and then that feeling you reminded, like I'm gonna throw up. That's what that feeling is. So I was like, "Don't focus on that. Just like listen to these two arguing." And then I was trying to like break down who this guy was. I was like, "This guy looks
Right.
like a beta, but he didn't let this homeless guy push." I was like really trying to like
That's good though. That's good.
trying to like just focus on anything. And then once I got to the front and I parted the things, the doors open, and it was like that thing where it like went through my hand, and like the people were standing. No,
It's-
it didn't hit anyone,
like,
but it went
sprays
like,
out.
and it like went through my hand a little, and I ran to the garbage and I just fucking let it out.
And there's
I just,
nothing worse than a Subway garbage can.
Oh,
either.
and
that
I was
just helps
and
the
I had
process.
and I'm short. I'm only 5'3", so I had to hold the edge of it to like lean over.
Extra dirty.
It was just bad. It was
No, that's
bad.
a great New York moment, like lifting
Yeah.
yourself up over a New York City garbage can to let it out.
I mean, I've seen homeless people sit on the top of those just shitting.
Yeah, I'm
into
sure.
those.
Have you really?
I
I've never
looked
seen
and it.
that.
Luckily, it looked pretty clean. The one I was throwing up in, it didn't look awful. I'm sure it's been through a lot, but like also, I kept looking at the people around me who were just like watching me throw up, and like some. It's so funny to see how different people feel. Like the guy next to me went like this. And like just turned and refused to even face my direction the rest of the time. The lady next to me like was watching me very concerned, like, is she okay?
Yeah.
It was like very interesting to see how people reacted to someone being
Right.
sick. Because it's like
It
also,
shows their true character.
yes.
Yeah.
Because I'm the guy. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess if you see someone that's like dressed well and like
Well, that's the
getting
difference.
sick,
If
it's-
you were homeless doing that, I don't think anyone would have paid you any line. But
so what are you saying to the kids out there, Kim? Don't take your vitamins?
yes.
Is that the message?
Don't also cut first class.
I had a
There's a
panic
lot of
attack,
messages in today's
like,
episode.
I guess over the summer or something.
You had a what?
But I was a panic attack, and I was
Ooh.
going from like
Yeah.
14th from the 6th and 7th. How you get to the tunnel after the L. I was going through that, and I literally everything started spiraling, and like I was like holding the rail, and I had 3 people offer me Narcan because they thought that I was
No
like
shit.
Having a heroin overdose. Yeah.
Wow.
It was
That's
so
crazy.
I was like,
Isn't-
no, I'm
aren't
doing.
those
I'm
symptoms
getting the
complete-
least fun
Yeah, it was-
symptoms of fucking heroin.
Aren't those complete opposite ends of the spectrum kind of symptoms?
Not
though?
with that beard. But go ahead. That beard says heroin addict.
Nobody's thinking like, oh, his girlfriend broke up with him. You know,
He's just
They're like,
having
"We need to get
worldly
him to the
troubles."
hospital." Yeah, he's having family problems. So I'm like, my friend,
You look like you play guitar and do heroin.
I just look like I'm leaving a VA hospital all the time.
Not like a
I've
heroin
never had a
addict, but,
problem
like,
walking
you
through
look
East
like a
New
cool
York.
dude
I've
that
never
does
had a
heroin.
problem. Like it's just like one of those things where they're like, yeah, I'm not going to get much off this guy.
Well, I also think it says a lot that people carry Narcan on them nowadays. You know, like
Yeah,
the
it's
fact
fucking
that
nuts.
people just have that on them in case someone they just stick them.
They should be giving you an emotional support animal.
If I had a pony,
Get this guy a banjo and a pony.
Yeah.
Is that why you?
start throwing up on the pony.
Is that why you guys have an emotional support? Is it a dog that you were talking about?
They
earlier?
like their dog.
Yeah.
That's why they have an emotional
that's
support
it?
animal.
So
that's
there's
why any
nothing
white
to it.
person. I don't believe it at all. I don't believe a dog can smell your seizures.
I
It's
do.
fucking-
No, I do think that it does help, like with kids that are fucking autistic and like people who've like been in war and shit like that. Like a dog and comfort them during the fireworks and stuff. That seems real.
Fine.
Well, everyone has that trigger that like helps them through situations.
Right.
What it
It
may not-
annoys me that it's dogs for people. I don't know why. It makes me almost angry.
Why? Why?
I don't know. I don't know what it is, but someone just being like obsessed with an animal, I'm like, get a life.
You definitely have a thing about dogs. Did you get bit when you were
No, and I
younger?
also I live with a dog. I like the dog. The dog's not my life.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, it's also I wouldn't I hate a bitch that goes out of her way to pet a strange dog when we're walking. I'm like, can we just keep living? Like, you've never seen a fucking dog before? Like, oh, puppy.
That's tough.
It's like, wait, how boring is your life that this poodle fucking is like this spike in endorphins for you? Like, I've done some cool shit. A poodle's not doing it. It's like when people are like, look at that building. I'm like, no. Fucking,
What does it
I've
for
done
you,
cool
Kimmy?
shit. I
What
don't
does it
know,
for
like
you?
fun parties
I
and
thought you were gonna
drugs.
go. No, I just fell down a staircase. Dude. I can't look at it.
I don't
Yeah, I
know, like
don't know.
fun shit, like fun shit.
I'm just gonna go off on a limb here and say I like dogs.
It seems to be a little conflict. I hate to narrate the podcast,
but I really
there seems
like
to be a little bit of conflict
you know
on
that
that
thing
end of the
that's
podcast.
excited when you come into
Right.
the room and then like provide you with all
But
that
I
warmth
disagree
and-
about the poodle thing, Kim. If you're gonna get excited about a dog, you might as well get excited about the top 1%, which is poodles.
A Dalmatian excites me.
Don't cut
Not
a
gonna lie.
poodle in line at the airport.
Yeah.
What'd you have, Alex? What were you saying?
When Bobby and I were on our way to LA, the flight got delayed a little bit because a lady tried to have her dog on it, which she paid for, but she didn't want to keep it in like anything. Like she didn't want to have it in a bag or like a cage or anything. And so she had this whole argument with she wanted to like let it run around the flight, and we had to like
fuck
wait
that.
for her to
Well,
get
yeah,
thrown
you can't
off.
fucking do that.
It was
Yeah,
so dramatic.
I mean,
I was eating dinner the other day and someone's dog was just a very expensive dinner that I don't buy myself very often, and someone's fucking dog was just under the table barking every time the waiter walked by. And I was like, I
was
hope
like
your
Johnny
dog
Rockets.
dies tonight.
But was
I hope I watch it choke on your dick.
I hate to bring this up because of these politically charged times, but was the waiter an illegal?
He was a
be
brown, which could be an issue.
Speaking of the Browns, I think they're gonna have a good season.
No, yeah, you're right. I'm just not a dog.
Transitions.
Yeah, like
I'm just not a dog person. You're right.
No.
You're right. That's the thing.
Well, yeah,
but
I
I
mean-
don't hate dogs. I
Right.
hate cats.
You just don't want to become a
Fucking hate
tarantula guy. I think that's
snake
the
person's
yeah,
the
or
worst.
a snake person.
Ugh.
Oh yeah.
Snake guys don't turn you on?
No, I hate a snake guy.
Snake girls.
Snake
like,
guy
turn
or
people on.
guy who has a dog with a sweater
Dog with a sweater, easily. Easily. Anytime.
with the arms cut
I would
off,
rather just a
obviously.
guy with like a house,
Oh,
honestly.
guy with a house. Guy with
Please.
a house. That's pretty basic.
There's somebody to pay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like that too.
I just,
Can we pull the video? up real
That
quick?
happened. The throw up thing happened the same morning that you stumbled down
Yeah,
the stairs.
Yes.
that was
That's
today,
this
right?
morning?
That's this morning today.
That is
Wow.
really fucking
you
bad
can
day.
see my
Holy shit.
Oh
Were
yeah.
you, were you out last night? Is that why?
No. It was just a dumbass. I was in a towel. I was in a shower, so I fell naked, which is like
God.
way more vulnerable.
Naked
When I
fall.
was like on the floor, I felt like a rape
Oh, yeah,
victim. I was
tits
just
just
like
flopping
lying
around and shit.
titties all
Yeah.
in my armpits,
Just
like,
making
to the
slappy
side.
noises.
I landed on my back. I like.
Is that a cue on Pornhub? Bitches falling out of the elevator.
Oh man, it was.
It's like, oh,
I will say, though,
Latino women take a tumble. Sexy Latina takes a tumble in the morning.
a lot of clicks on that one.
But then when I
cake
threw
farts
up,
is a thing.
I got back onto the train,
know?
like post vomit. Like
Oh, you had to get back on the train.
Yeah,
because
because I had to go to work.
Right.
Still.
And
Okay.
another
just
guy
got
jerked off to you? Kim,
No.
really? At post-vomit? A post-vomit jerk?
I relieved him. No, I got back on the train, but at this point I was so sweaty from vomiting so much, and like that post throw up like shake you get.
Oh, yeah.
I was like shaking really bad, so I sat down on the train. And I was like just shaking with my head down, and there was two guys, a guy next to me and a guy across from him. They were like visiting, two white dudes just visiting. You could tell because they were talking about how broke they were
offered
from their
you
trip.
Narcan?
No, I heard the dude across from me tell the dude, "I think she might get sick on you."
Oh wow! So they
Because
saw
my
it-
face was
yeah.
still probably like very green. I was like very
Right.
sweaty. So the other dude like turned away, and I just put my head down, and I looked up at one point, and the sweetest kid across from me was like, "Are you okay?" He was
See,
like,
it's
"Do
good.
you need
It's good to
anything?"
see some people still fucking care.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, and I was like, "I'm okay. I just don't feel good." And he
I
was like,
definitely
so
do
cute.
the guy dead test. Like I'll go up, and if somebody's like splayed up, I'll like, and then if I see him breathing, I'm like,
What is
all
your?
right, this
Check.
is just where he wants
Okay.
to be.
If he's not, do you? Touch?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna follow up
I
with.
think
yeah.
you gotta go, hey, first.
Yeah.
You never know. I mean, because I think about some of the shit that I did when I was drunk, and I was like, I remember I told my fiance this, like, just thinking it was funny yesterday, and she was like, what? Where I was like, I went to a New Year's party, and my friend, we both blacked out. My friend, who was a really bad drunk, he kicked a cop car and then ran away, like, and had to hide under his car. And I just woke up in the next house where the family was out on a vacation. Like, I woke up in the living room, and I just got up, and I hadn't, like, destroyed anything, and I was just like slowly walked out of the house and back to the house to where the party was at. I was
That's
like,
so scary.
because there's no one there. I was just, it was like they had set the house up for like realtors. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
which I would have
yeah.
loved if that had happened.
That's really funny.
And right here we have this prospector fucking
Wow.
passed out under duvet.
It's crazy to think about like the shit you survive. How because I think about things I've done and I'm like, I should be dead from at least 4 of the nights.
100%.
4 of the nights I've had at minimum, I should be dead.
I think we've asked this question before. What would be your cause of death if you knew that you were dead? Like, what most commonly happens in your life that you're like, I should be dead because of this?
Mostly, it would have been like from the age of like 18 to 22, and it would have been some mixture of like drugs and alcohol.
Yeah. I feel like that's probably one of the most common answers.
Yeah,
right?
it would have been
'Cause-
just me not understanding that you can't like, because I was so easily convincible too. Like I was just like, oh, if they're doing it, I'll do it. Like I wasn't like a drug addict. Like I didn't go buy drugs, but like if I was out, and that's even worse because you don't know what you're doing when you're like one of those
Right.
people that aren't like buying them.
Yeah.
And I would just like, I remember one time I snorted something and then just kept drinking all night and got so fucking sick that I probably should have gone to the hospital. And somehow I made it through the night.
Wow.
And then like just not. And I remember being like, I can't just snort something.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
didn't
know
know.
what
you don't know what's going on.
I
You didn't up or down. Or
No,
like, you don't even
no
know
idea.
anything.
No idea.
You didn't even know
no
what
clue.
quantity to do.
No,
Right.
it was
Like-
a hot guy that offered it to me, and that's all it took was a
Wow.
good-looking guy. I was like, if he's alive and hot, then I'll be fine.
Yeah.
He cares about me.
Yeah, all hot guys.
Yeah, well, it's everyone too. I mean, you saw the Angels pitcher now that just came back. Tyler Skaggs, that dude who just
Oh
died.
yeah, he died from an overdose.
He died from an overdose. It was an accidental. He choked on his vomit in his sleep.
Yeah.
He
no
and
way
he
to go.
he was like a pitcher. Like he was still on the team.
Oh, is that what came back? Yeah, I remember when that happened.
and he died in his sleep. And it turns out he was taking oxycodone, and there was fentanyl in it.
Yeah.
And he also drank that night. And while he was sleeping, he threw up and choked on his vomit.
That's really sad.
Oxycontin, man, the got like 50-year-old.
Yeah, here's a picture of him. I mean, this was big news. This was everywhere.
Yeah, I
but
remember when it happened, but they didn't know the cause of
They
death.
didn't.
It was today.
It just
that they
came out. I think it was like yesterday.
How
like
ironic is
yesterday.
that team name now?
I didn't even think about that part. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, I've now, like, when I went to rehab, there's like 50-year-old women who never did drugs before, but then they're buying heroin because of Oxycontin. It's
That's
fucking
that's
insane.
the scary
I'll
part.
probably try heroin when I'm like 85.
I say that's the way
85.
I want to go out for sure.
That's
Feels like it'd be fun then because you're in a lot of pain because you're so old
not?
and like
Why not?
you can't get like you can't become like
I mean,
a
your
whore
heart- your
fiend.
heart's not
Could you
really
imagine
gonna
an
take it,
85-year-old like sucking dick for heroin? No, that doesn't
Yeah.
happen. Like you just give an 85-year-old heroin if they ask.
Well, it's
There's
morphine. They give them morphine for the pain, right? Isn't
Which is
that kind
basically
of
the
same
I don't know
thing?
if it's the same thing. But
It's a painkiller.
yeah, it's along the same lines, but
It's a narcotic.
But yeah, no, I just want to make it clear that I don't do any drugs anymore except for weed and mushrooms and acid.
it's a large
What?
list.
Except for the big three.
The big three. None of those can kill you.
They can
None of
change
those
you.
can kill you.
what were they again?
Fight, argue me.
What were
None
they?
of those could
Weed,
kill you.
mushrooms, acid. Which one can kill you and how?
Weed,
Well, a
mushrooms,
bad acid bash could kill you, but it's
How?
not really. It's not. But it's not like the acid that you were supposed to take. It's something
Okay.
else.
Yeah, I
Acid
always
can-
have my friends test it first. 'Cause
Yeah,
I'm
I
a
feel
good
like
person.
acid
That's
just can make you feel like you want to die.
Sure.
You know, it's, and then you look at like Ozzy, people who are just fucking one too many.
I think I just figured there's a direct correlation. The more you like dogs, the less you'll like acid.
Not
I
true.
don't know. I think that's a sweeping generalization.
Again,
no scientific.
Fine.
fact.
sparks
You guys
are
all
flying
shut-
on that side of the room.
Dancy and Jermaine's gonna hate me after
you
this.
guys are disagreeing.
I don't
about
trust
drugs.
anybody that doesn't like dogs. I already know what he's gonna say about me.
No, I'm not gonna say anything. I mean, all good stuff.
Kim, you've really taken a hard anti-emotional support animal stance.
It is. It's not like I'm having
never heard.
controversial stances. I'm like, I don't
yeah,
know.
this
I
is
like
pretty
dogs.
basic shit.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know about you guys. Pizza, pretty good.
Pizza.
Yeah.
What kind of fucking pig likes
Like
pizza?
Israel or
All
Palestine.
guys, this
or
is
like
Kim.
Guatemala.
I'm just saying, all guys who eat pizza are betas. Probably take it in the ass. I'm just saying, pepperoni. You think that's an accident? Let's keep it moving.
I love the comic too. Let's keep it moving comic. Let's keep it moving.
Kim's like, I don't want to waste any more time. If you eat pizza, you're a cuck. I threw up on a guy's cock while he was masturbating. Does anybody want to get to anything else? Am I the only one interesting here?
What happened on the C train?
Can we real quick? Because I know Mike's got to. Can we get to the clip of the week here?
Next up, Subway Creatures, clip of the week.
Guys, we do a clip of the week. It's just kind of basically a little bonus content for those who actually tune in. So we'll just get straight to this one. It kind of speaks for itself.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And that's a midget too.
Wait.
What?
Wow.
So
Well, the one guy I thought was in a singlet at first, so I thought it was like international.
so he's wearing one of those like what was it? Was it Borat?
Yeah,
What-
that's the Borat,
The Borat
costume.
Yeah, yeah. The
Do they all
bathing
know
suit.
each other?
I
Is this like a performance piece?
I hope so. I
It
hope
feels
so.
very
I
performance.
kind of actually hope not.
Yeah.
It would be better if they
Dude,
did.
if it wasn't a performance, that fucking dick would have flopped out, or like a ball would have flopped out.
That's true.
Well, yeah, I mean, he probably wouldn't have been wearing that either.
But the guys on the
Right.
floor are in costumes, right?
But the people around them, like the one dude tries to break it up, like it does. They do seem like a little alarmed.
Can
I
we
guess
start
you'd
it
say.
over real
Yeah.
quick? Start it from the top. Let's see.
Because you can't tell if the one guy is Spider-Man or not.
This is just like the worst episode of Real Sex I've ever seen.
Like, where does that one dude come from? He just comes out in the one
So-
in the all red
Pulls
in
him
the
out of the
top.
So for the people listening who can't actually see what we're watching right now, I don't know. Dan, do you want to kind of sum this up for them?
Well, there's a guy in an orange Borat costume who has, I wouldn't say a build that dissimilar to myself, and he's pushing what appears to be a guy in like one of those capture
suit.
motion outfits, or like fucking just you know, like full spandex outfit onto a little person dressed as a superhero or
Kanye?
or Kanye, but they're not a superhero. I guess he doesn't have a mask, but
It's just a weird
like,
outfit.
without a doubt, the little person is dressed the most normal. But and then there's some guy who like tries to break it up. But it looks to me like, see, this is the kind of stuff that you would do in college though before cameras. You know, to be like, oh, let's have a
Right.
crazy thing where we like are in Speedos and we run through the cafeteria and we fall down in front of like a macaroni and.
What theater program were you in?
Yeah, what kind of
That's what
fucking
happened.
I went to Penn State. My mentor was Jerry Sandusky. That does sound like something Sandusky would.
That's very Sandusky.
Like, yeah, no, you just get naked, then you like roll around the shit. It's a fun. It's a goof. It's a goof. It's a college goof.
All the kids do it.
Sorry,
Mike. Do you want to plug something real
Yes,
quick?
can you guys please watch and listen to the No Disrespect podcast here on the Gas Digital Network?
You got any shows coming up?
My schedule's at Comic Mike V on all social media platforms, MikeVecchione.com for dates. I got some dates coming up on the road in the city. So thank you. I really had fun. You guys are
Hey,
great,
no,
man.
thank you for coming.
Good time.
It
Yeah, that was
won't be the
awesome.
last time. Hopefully you guys come on. We would love to have you again, and I'm a big fan of your show, so keep doing what you guys are doing. It's awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me.
Let you get out of here, man. This is actually a good time for all of us while Mike's getting out. Dan, if you got anything you want to plug here.
I would love to. I'm at Vermont Comedy Club in Burlington on September 19th, 20th, and 21st. I'm really just trying to get people out to that one, so please go. And if you like wrestling, Scott Chaplin and I do a podcast for the All Things Comedy Network, Total Effing Marks.
Yeah, nice.
So check that out. And yeah, all the other shit's on my website, dansaintgermain.net.
Did you plug
Dates and stuff.
Did you plug social media? Did you?
Oh, I guess, yeah, follow me on fucking Instagram. I don't really use Twitter that much anymore unless it's my shows, because I just don't want to get into any, like, Twitter bullshit.
Oh
I
my
feel
god!
But
yeah.
Dan Saint Germain on Instagram, which is danst.germain.
Nice.
Very nice, Kimmy.
Follow me on Twitter at Kimberly Congdon, on Instagram at Kim Congdon. Check out my other podcast with our lovely producer, Alex Scarlato. It's called Broad Topics, TOPIX. That's on iTunes, Google, YouTube, Google Play, Stitcher. I don't know what I just said, but all of those, anywhere you find podcasts. And then also check out Stone Science, youtube.com/Stone Science, where I get comedians high and do a science fair project with them.
Awesome. Check out our show, iTunes, YouTube, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher. Just like Kimmy said, leave a review, rate us.
Yeah.
Give us something here.
Give us something.
Yeah. Let us know you're alive out there.
Is anybody out there?
Come about! Also, check out the Instagram page, Subway Creatures Pod. We're going to put up highlights from the show as well as bonus content that you're not going to find on the main account. Make sure you check that out. You can get a 14-day free trial on gasdigitalnetwork.com using promo code SUBWAY. You'll get all the podcasts on there in HD, commercial free, as well as our not safe for work bonus content, which we always have. Every week, it just gets weirder and weirder and more explicit. So you can check us out there as well. Dan, thank you so much for coming
Thank you for
by.
having me. This was
really
really
appreciate
fun.
it.
Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. Until next week, guys, we'll see you then.